Welcome to episode 18 of the Joe with Joe Morning Show. Joseph Gregory here on a gloomy Tuesday morning here in Chicago, along with my co-host Chris Rouse.
What's good, man? What's good, everybody? How y'all doing? Happy Tuesday. I'm up and wide awake. How you feeling, man? You don't look too
I'm all
wide. You
right,
look wide
man.
awake, but you don't look too happy.
I'm all right, man. Super wild card weekend. Um, There's a lot of blowouts this weekend. Most of the favorites won.
Yeah.
You know, there were a couple of close games, and you know, I know what everybody wants me to start off with, but since there was a game last night, we'll get to that. Um, Cardinals get throttled by the Rams. Matthew Stafford threw for 202 yards, threw for a couple of touchdowns, ran for another. Kyler Murray was just chased around all night. 2 interceptions, only threw for 137 yards, and the Rams win 34-11. It's the real blowout that we didn't really see coming. The Rams offense. So I got to get up. I got to get my screen up here. Sony Michel and Cam Akers, and that I thought that was really the theme of what really happened in the playoffs this weekend. Physicality. It's
Yeah.
like the physicality led to explosion. Once you have to address somebody's physicality as a defense, here comes the explosion and behind it. And
Yeah.
that's what was going on a lot in this round of the playoffs. But Cam Akers back miraculously off the a torn Achilles,
Mm-hmm.
173 days ago in training camp, able to come back and play in that game last night. I mean, that's just
Is
incredible.
that
Um,
a platinum blend? What's that? Is that a platinum blend, or you just saying?
I'm just saying. I'm
Okay.
just saying. And Sony Michel, 13 carries, 58 yards. I mean, he didn't look like, and Akers didn't look like he missed a step. 17 carries, 55 yards. He was able to shoulder their workload. So they ran the ball 38 times for 140 yards. Common thread, I guess. You see the teams that ran the ball a lot, physicality,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
physicality. And then Odell Beckham Jr. How about that? His first playoff touchdown ever. Matthew Stafford, first playoff win. Sean McVay, understanding you got to bring a physical element to this playoff game, and they really got out to Kyler Murray on the defensive side of the ball. Um, then a lot of Cardinals to get anything going in the running game. Every chance Kyler Murray got back, he was harassed. And, can't say enough about the Rams really.
I agree with you. I have to give it to their defense. I actually thought the Cardinals defense was going to be the defense that came in here and came up with all the highlight plays, and we was gonna be sitting here fawning over them, talking about them going into next week. But now the Cardinals, they're headed home. Shout out to Matthew Stafford, man. I thought that was a good performance for him. Only 17 throws, but still got his first playoff win. But I thought this was gonna be the NFC Championship game. Well, gonna get it around earlier. Tampa Bay versus the Rams coming up next week.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hell of a game down in Tampa Bay on Sunday, the early game, 2 o'clock on Sunday. And as far as the rest of Super Wild Card Weekend, let's just get to it. I know everybody wants to get to it. I know you're
Yeah,
looking in the chat. The chat all
yes, I am.
full. So
It
everybody
actually
want
is. It's a lot. It's a
and
decent amount of
everybody want me to
people,
get
man.
to it.
Shout out to
Um,
Sheandra Reynolds, man. That's the only person that hit us
hey
with
Nettie, how
some
you
like,
doing?
yeah,
What's going on? How you feeling?
yeah, man.
Um,
It's Sylvester Moses also in the chat as well. So we got
what's
a
going
few,
on,
man.
Vesto? What's happening,
Yeah, man.
Vesto?
We got
What's going on?
you lit
Everybody,
this Tuesday morning.
yeah, I know why they lit. You know why they lit? Because they know what
Why?
team I ride with, and they know what happened. They tune in just because to see what happens, just because they want to see what's happening with me. Um, only one
Let's get to
home
it, man.
team, only one home team lost in the whole Super Wild Card weekend, and that was the Dallas Cowboys losing Sunday 23-17 to the San Francisco 49ers. Um, San Francisco running game, 38 carries. Just like the Rams had 38 carries, except for they had 169 yards.
Yeah.
Theirs. Jimmy Garoppolo, 16 of 25, 172 yards. He threw an interception. He did have some key third down conversions in the early part of that game. Had to do some moving around, right? Excuse
had
me.
to multitask it. Had to multitask it real quick.
Multitask real quick. But Debo Samuel, 10 carries, 72 yards. He had a touchdown after Dak Prescott's only interception, which came in the second half. Dak Prescott worst completion percentage of his postseason career, only 23 of 43, 254 yards. And he did run for a touchdown. But we also know he had the last run, which was a 14-yard run, and we all know what happened at the end of that run.
You mean the Cowboys season ended?
The last play of the season was a spike.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, what are you laughing at? That's really what it was.
That's what it was. It was a spike, man. He clocked it.
You gotta be.
He tried
I'm
to
not
clock
going.
it.
Now I'm not going at the referees in the situation because I see you just dropped something. You dropped the thing. It's just like when the referee bumped into the center and made him drop the ball, but that had nothing to do with nothing. You know what? That had nothing to do with nothing.
Why?
Because the Cowboys evidently didn't know the rule. And the rule is you have to get a ball to. You got to get a ball to the official. You know what I'm saying? You got to get a ball to the official. You get a ball to the official, and then everything else would have took care of itself. Dak Prescott would have located the official who was clearly running behind him and gave him the ball and got everybody else lined up. And maybe they would have get a last play. Now, also the other school, which you thought I was coming from, about how we should be lucky that it even came to that part.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I was thinking about this game yesterday, and I was just thinking, like, you know what? I was sitting somewhere, man. I was just like, we the motherfucking cheddar bobs of the NFL.
How did you come to this conclusion that the Cowboys are the cheddar bobs of the NFL? Because you know this is about to be the quote. You know this is gonna be the viral video I'm gonna try to shoot for.
I mean, we got to be just like the most cheddar bob shooting ourselves in the leg choke artists of the NFL. 14.
Are y'all really? Because there's some teams that's not in the playoffs because of that.
I don't give a fuck about them. Right? I'm talking about the teams that were in the playoffs. The only one that didn't win their home game this week. Shout out to the Bengals who won for the first time since I had a whole bunch of hair. Big Daddy Kane was out. Big Daddy Kane ain't no half stepping was out when
remember
people that been on the verses. The people that been on the verses was hot back then. The last time the Bengals got a playoff win and they got one, but the Cowboys didn't.
Remember last month we were talking about how you had got robbed the day after New Year, after Christmas 1990 and
90, yeah.
And I was a few months old. Now here we are, that was 2 months later the Bengals won, or a month later the Bengals won their last game.
Okay, but back to this Cowboy thing. 14 penalties, fam. You're gonna be with 14 penalties.
Hey, do your thing that you be saying. What the Cowboys be doing before the snap?
8 penalties. 8 penalties that either gave San Francisco a first down or took one away from Dallas. CeeDee Lamb, 88 not set before the Lyle Collins, Connor Williams, Michael Parsons. Look, neutral zone. The game started with a neutral. The first play of the game, it was offsides.
Gregory got hit for one.
The very first play of the game, it was offsides. 14 penalties. And then the offense, I don't know what they. San Francisco runs the ball down the throat of the Cowboys. The first drive. I mean, Garoppolo's completing stuff on third down conversions because it's like 3rd and 3s and 3rd and 2s. The playbook wide open. They can run it up, throw it. And the Cowboys respond. I don't know what the first play was. It was like a half roll, throw the ball to the first row, give away first down. Get the ball to Zeke on the second play. As soon as he got the ball, it was 349ers in the backfield. Uh, and then on the last play, on the third down play, Prescott got sacked for a 10-yard loss. And then the next drive, then the rest of the drives the 49ers got, they just got field goals. They just kept
That's all they needed.
driving the
That's all they
ball,
needed, man.
driving the ball. Driving the ball, converting third downs, having manageable third downs, penalties by the defense to help them whenever they couldn't. How about 3 penalties by the defensive line in the fourth quarter?
That's how you get eliminated, man. That's how you get eliminated.
And then the offense was just so, I don't know, man, just wishy-washy. Everybody keeps telling me Zeke is done and Zeke ain't shit. How about the line just was getting whipped? Did you see the first?
Let me ask you this, man. What do you think about the Cowboys getting sent home? It's 23-7. You right now you breaking it down. What are your thoughts on this game, man? Like, how are you feeling as a Cowboy fan? This is the one game I didn't get to see live, actually.
I feel like the Cowboys' defense didn't play well in the first half, and neither did the offense. In the second half, defense did get better. The only touchdown they gave up in the second half was after the interception by Dak, which was a very short field, 22-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
It took one play for them to score after that. So for that part, it was pretty bad. But the defensive line was just getting moved around all day by the offensive line by for 49ers. Like I say, like I just told you how the 49ers was in the backfield with Zeke on his first carry. Elijah Mitchell, on the other hand, was running like free for the first 4 or 5 yards before he was even had to change direction or get touched or whatever. So Kyle Shanahan had a game plan. Garoppolo only had 25 dropbacks, 16 completions. He did throw the interception. And after he threw that interception, Kyle Shanahan basically took the ball away from him for the last 5 minutes. But yeah, man, they had a game plan to get the ball to their main weapon, which was Deebo Samuel, who had 10 carries and 72 yards to support the 27 and 96 that Mitchell had. They took the clock away and played to their tempo basically for the most part of the game.
Now, give it to them.
Now, if you want to keep going back up to the last play, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Don't give the ball to the center. The center can't do shit. You got to get the ball to the referee in basketball, right? Can't just take it out. You got to get the ball to the damn umpire. That's why all this shit happened. You can hand the ball to him instead of giving the ball to Giannis, the center. All this shit probably don't happen. But really, and all that shit, it shouldn't have came down to that. That was a piss poor drive. The drive before that, when they got it with 2:42 left. They was lucky to get all this shit at the end. But man, just a real bad performance, uneven performance by the offense. This ballyhooed offense that was supposed to carry this and do that. It's a real mediocre, real slow performance. This was the same performance that I feared. It was the same type of performance that they had against the Arizona Cardinals 2 weeks ago. Same type of performance that they had against the Raiders on Thanksgiving. Offense had these real dull spells, and they're just very, very, very penalty prone. They give up a lot of plays on defense if there's no pass rush. Matter of fact, Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't sacked yesterday in his 25 dropbacks. You know why? Because of the running game. All the dropbacks was mostly on play action and bootleg because we had to honor that because they ran the ball 38 times. Right. So they ran the ball 38 times. So whenever they do this or put the ball in somebody's stomach, you got to wait to something. You know what I'm saying? You got to hold on for a minute.
The one time you should be doing it, you're not doing it and getting cooked for real by Elijah Mitchell.
That's right. And then also, the Cowboys can never put them in obvious passing situations for them to have to just not honor that. They kept the Cowboys in third and long, or the Cowboys kept themselves in third and long with penalties, but just a lot of just incomplete passes. Dak had 20 incompletions. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? You talk about this money, man. It's a lot of money, man. All the other people that make money like you, like Mahomes and Allen, they throwing for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. And I'm looking at my quarterback not getting it done. That's shouldn't have came down to that. You know what I'm saying?
Malaya Coleman also joined us in the chat as well, by the way.
Who?
Malaya Coleman also.
Millie Coleman. You say Millie. It's my Aunt Millie. My Aunt Millie. How you doing, Aunt Millie?
Hey, I'm just going.
Yeah, man. This was just terrible, man.
I'm just going over
just terrible. It's terrible, man. It just sucks. And now you just sit around. So now you got to sit around and think about this one play. What that one play would have did? I mean, if you would have got it, it would have been great. It would have been historic, but it didn't happen. So now, just another play to put in Dallas playoff folklore. They spiked the ball. His time expired. Romo dropped the snap. Dez caught it.
Bryant.
The Aaron Rodgers thing. It's just a whole bunch of just more stuff to add on to my misery. Now I got to sit for 6 to 8 months. All my friends calling me. I can show you some of these texts that I get from my friends. They're supposed to be my friends. They don't care about me. They're not my friends. They just care about my misery. Just because the team they root for bring their misery, they want me to have the same misery. But we'll show them.
Georgia won. Georgia won, though.
Yeah, I know Georgia won, and that was great. But this hurts.
Well, hey, that's what it is, man.
I mean, to have all these things, like I told you, that they were the first team that had the things, and they had to have nobody show up. You have a 4,000-yard quarterback that's inaccurate. You have for the game that he doesn't need to be inaccurate. We have an offensive line that's opened the holes for a 1,000-yard rusher, but he hasn't got 100 yards in his last 13 games, and he only gets 31 here. I think Pollard had about 14 or whatever he had. It wasn't much. You got a 1,000-yard receiver getting one catch for like 20 yards, and it's like garbage time. Every time he had a big play, it was the first play they had to CD Lamb for about 37 yards. It was holding 52.
In the chat,
it was terrible.
In the chat, Matthew Ward backed up what you said. If Dak would have gave the ball to the ref, they would have had a shot.
Yeah, and then what?
Hey, I don't know. You tell me, man. That's your
We'll
team.
never know. We spiked the ball as time expired. That's what happened. The referees did this. The referees did this. And I was looking like this.
You never know. But what we do know is that the Cincinnati Bengals, like you mentioned earlier, got their first playoff win since
Cincinnati Bengals 26-19. Joe Burrow, man. Joe Burrow, that dude, man. 2 touchdown passes in his first
Rider reflex
playoff start. Of course, the big play. I think Jamar Chase had 8 catches also in this game for about how many yards? About 104.
Yeah, 106.
106. I'm sorry. And yeah, man, they did what they had to do. Of course, the big play.
Michael Griffin saying, "Shout out to you with the sports talk."
Thank you, fam. But yes, the Bengals able to come through. The big play in the game, of course, the second quarter pass to Tyler Boyd when they blew the whistle, as the ball was in mid-flight. I didn't think it had a lot of impact to do with the play, but you can see how, I guess Trevor Moorhead, 25 for the Raiders, kind of let up, and like he was going to make a play on the ball. He kind of just jumped up. I don't know if he was going to go towards the ball. I don't know. The rule is they're supposed to go back to the spot of the play and do it over. But they didn't.
I'm gonna be real with you. In real time, I thought that was a bad call. I thought they messed with the Raiders because I thought the same thing. I thought maybe he had a break on the ball and he stopped before because of the whistle. But when they replayed it back, the whistle was actually on time. It was as he caught it, he was coming down. The play, it was maybe a little quick, but the catch was already made. And 2, when I looked at the replay, he was maybe about 3 yards out the play. Probably wasn't knocking that down. So I disagree with that being the big play. I think the big play of the game was that interception at the end of the game by Derek Carr that sent the Raiders home for good. And apparently, since Facebook and Cincinnati must be intercepting all the Rider Reflexes posts. I don't really hear him talking too much as of late.
Rider Reflexes hurt like me, man. Rider Reflexes feeling just as hurt as I'm feeling right now.
He ain't too damn hurt. He had time to make memes.
Where do you even get this from? What is this?
He sent me that. That's what it say.
Hey, man. Listen here, man. I didn't send you that. I don't want you posting it now. It feels like you're, because it hurts.
Well, hey, we all on the playoff couch now, so Rocket Reflex can talk all he want now. Talk all he
Hey,
want. We all on the
listen
couch.
here. Today I'm doing the show actually from the couch. I don't want to hear you say anything about playoff couch. I don't usually do the playoff couch, because usually right now I'm not here by myself. Right now I'm here by myself. So I said I'm gonna stay comfortable and be on the couch. And I don't want your ass up here talking about the couch. All right.
Real quick, man, in the chat, man, we got a few people. Shaq Barnes, SB Talk Sports, joining in. He said, "Salute, guys. What's going on?" And
What's up, Shaq? What's happening?
Matthew Ward also said, "Do you think the Bengals even make the playoffs if they didn't have Chase?" Hell no.
I mean, we can't. I mean,
no.
if it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. They got him. They made the general manager got him. So I don't know who they would have got if they didn't get him. Didn't have him. I know they got him, and they got a hell of a chance in the next round. What's going on?
I'm with Joe on that if was a fifth, because if all of Baltimore's running backs and if Lamar was healthy, I don't even think the Bengals would have made the playoffs, bro. But honestly, I think if you give Baltimore a fair shot, if Cincinnati didn't have Jamar Chase, if you give Baltimore a fair shot, I think they probably take the North if they would have had their running backs and Lamar down the stretch.
That's the whole thing about the NFL, football in general. It's a physical game, so it's gonna be people. Your depth is gonna be tested. You know, you got coordinators that's thinking about how to take you out for 5 days in a row, 6 days in a row. They're watching all the film to see how they can crack back block you and do everything they can neutralize you. You're a running back. They're trying
Cowboy
to get to
GM,
you. You know,
Cowboy GM over here. You know who you talking about.
Hold on, I wasn't talking about the Cowboys. I was talking about the health of just football players in general. You're talking about the Ravens depth chart and everything. But hey, you know, you got to find a way to overcome those things. You know what I'm saying? And they weren't able to do it this year. So shout out to the Bengals for breaking a long streak.
Shout out to the Raiders. Shout out to the Raiders, man, for breaking. I mean, you made the Houston Oilers officially irrelevant. They are no longer the last team to lose to the Bengals in the playoffs. Shout out, Raiders.
Oh yeah, Derek Carr, I thought he performed. He performed well in his first playoff performance, but I just thought they could have ended up some of those drives a little bit better. You know, field goals will get you killed in the playoffs. They'll get you eliminated, and that's really what they really settled for a lot in those drafts, in particular the first one.
Platinum Blend. The reason why I bring up Platinum Blend now is because I want to give a shout out to the Raiders. Despite every, I know I've been joking a lot about with Rod Reflex, but they went through a lot this year, man. To see them actually even get into the playoffs, and there was one point earlier this year I even said I was convinced, man, with Renfro and Carr and all those guys. So shout out to the Raiders, man. They had a tumultuous season to say the least, man. How many times do you get two players kicked off the team for incidents like that and a coach? So, and they still made the playoffs. Shout out to Raiders.
I don't really have a Platinum Blend, but since you put it up there, you know, I was really sad this weekend about the elimination of the Cowboys, but I will give a Platinum Blend to the Oklahoma State Cowboys, who upset the Baylor Bears this week.
They did.
Handed the Baylor Bears their second home loss of the week. As a matter of fact, I know Texas Tech beat them early in the week. So shout out to my Oklahoma State Cowboys. And
I got a Platinum Blend. I got a couple more, man. One to the Texas Tech men's basketball team. That's a hell of a week, man. That's two wins over top ranked teams. They beat both Baylor and Kansas last week. And then once again, man, Platinum Blend to Aaliyah Collins of Chicago State, man, 4-time WAC freshman of the week. No, Joe. The conference does have more than one freshman.
I just want to know, man. She win that week.
Hey, no, she don't. No, she don't. You know how no, she don't? Because the player that won 3 other times, we just played against them. So
okay, you won 3 other times. You got 2 at least. Okay, I'm just making sure she wasn't only one.
She got 2. You got 2. So we got 2 players with 7 of the 10 awards. So
guess they killing on that court, man. Doing what they got to do.
Yeah, they are, man. You should have seen the game Aaliyah had on Monday against Seattle. That's how they got the second win. Still can't win at home though. Come on, Cougars, pull it off for me.
They don't want you to be great.
Back to the AFC. Like that, man.
Back to the AFC divisional playoffs, man. Josh Allen probably was the best player on the field all weekend. He only had 4 incompletions and had 5 touchdown passes. He also ran for 66 yards. Those for 308. The Bills just whitewashed the Patriots, scoring 8 touchdowns on the first 7 drives, unless they was kneeling. Oh my God. Only thing I can say is Josh Allen was on a mission. They
That he
stopped the
was.
running game. They ran the ball, and Josh Allen is just a player. We talk about physicality. I keep talking about physicality and the explosion. I feel like for this team, he is that physicality.
Yeah,
You
he
know what I'm
becoming that.
saying?
At
Because
the beginning of the year, when he hurt his hip, I thought that was worse than they led us on to believe.
Mhm.
But if it's still bothering him, it's not showing at all, man. I mean, 308 yards, 5 TD passes. And I'm gonna tell you, man, that was the one game I was certain I wasn't watching that game at all, man. Josh Allen ended up probably having one of the most pretty performances all weekend.
Yeah, relying on that running game a little bit more as they get toward the end of the season. He's still running the ball though at an elite rate whenever he does run it. Very efficient, 21 out of 25. That's a terrific playoff performance by him. How about the Buffalo defense? They shut down Mac Jones, a couple of interceptions. That was a great interception by Micah Hyde. I mean, that one right there, the interception right there, to end their first New England drive when they were moving the ball pretty good. Looked like they were at least going to be in a position to get points and answer the Buffalo touchdown. That just turned like the whole game, man. And just after that, Buffalo scored again and they wouldn't stop.
I'll say this about Buffalo's defense. One thing I've noticed about playing against New England this year, if you take them running backs away, pretty easy to kind of shut Mac Jones down. I mean, I've had New England running backs in fantasy, and some weeks they'll get 4, 5, 6 points, and then those are the weeks that like Mac Jones will have some of his worst games because it's pretty much one dimensional. It's basically Buffalo did what Dallas should have did against the Niners running the ball. So that's what happened with New England and Buffalo.
I don't want to hear them shots and shit.
That ain't no shot. I'm
Hey,
just
that,
saying.
that is, that is. Why you got to keep mentioning that? You ain't say that. You could have said that shit about any other team that gave up running yards. You ain't say that about the
We
Cardinals.
literally just talked about Dallas.
You didn't say that about the Cardinals.
We just talked about Dallas.
How about what they should have did? Listen here, man. Listen here, man. The New England Patriots are not explosive on the outside as far as Bourne and Jacoby Myers. They don't make a lot of plays on the outside. It's really the tight ends, and when he does throw the ball, it's really Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. Those guys were shut down. That's when he threw his second interception. He was trying to throw the ball to Hunter Henry. That's when they got the deflection or whatever. So they might have to find some more explosive wideouts because the receivers really don't win to give him targets outside even. So
and
Buffalo
you don't really think of them guys.
pretty much, huh?
And you don't really think of them guys as any of them guys as number one receivers. Like you think of
Yeah.
them dudes as like slots, the slot
Myers
X
and
receivers.
Aguilar
You
and
don't think of them guys as number ones, man.
Kendrick Bourne, yeah. They all right.
They decent, but just not number one.
They're like three number threes.
Hey, bro, you'll never hear nobody say, "Hey, I'm gonna get Kendrick Bourne in fantasy." You don't hear that, dude. So,
Shout out to me because he ended the season on my team because everybody on my team got hurt.
But I'm
And
saying,
Antonio Brown was hurt.
You don't look for him in the draft though.
Antonio Brown walked out during the championship. He left. He would have left if I was in the championship.
I didn't think about
if I was in the championship, if I was in the fantasy championship, he would have left. I'd have been mad as hell.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Like that is messed up.
Patrick Mahomes also threw for 5 touchdown passes and
Copycat.
a whole bunch of yards against the Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Man, 404 passing yards, 30
like, a whole bunch of yards. There you go, 400.
Yeah, a whole bunch of yards, 404, man. My mind is clouded. All I keep thinking is I think everybody threw 240, 254 because Dak did. And I'm talking about you, right? Well, I could talk about you because they my team, damn it. Anyway, back to the Chiefs.
But everybody
they whitewashed the Steelers 42-21 to end their season, and probably might end Ben Roethlisberger's career as far as being a Steeler. Chiefs now will host the Bills in the divisional round. I guess this is what we all kind of thought was going to happen to the Steelers, right? I know I picked it to be a little bit more closer than this, but the Chiefs wasn't having it. Defense was dominant. Steelers got one of their touchdowns when Darrell Williams fumbled after a botched wild Chief attempt with Nicole Hardman, but most of the time after that, the Chief defense was very dominant. So now we're going to have a rematch to the championship, the divisional round as far as the AFC goes, as far as the Bills and the Chiefs. The Bills and the Chiefs, man. Who you got?
I got the Chiefs, man. I'm sticking with my picks. The AFC, I got Kansas City winning the AFC. And I mean, honestly, while we here, man, I do you one better. Let's go ahead and cross over. I think Cincinnati's gonna beat Tennessee, and I think Cincinnati is gonna end up playing Kansas City in the AFC title game, and Cincinnati will be the next team in that long list of Buffalo and Houston and Tennessee, Cleveland, all these teams that try to beat Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs, but end up losing. And I think Kansas City wins this week, and Cincinnati wins in the other game.
I'm gonna go with, since that's on the screen, I'm actually go with Tennessee and Cincinnati. I'm gonna go with Tennessee to beat Cincinnati in a good game. The Cincinnati offensive line is not the best. And the Tennessee defensive line, I think that's their strength. I think Jeffrey Simmons is one of the most dominant, disruptive linemen we saw in the league this year from the interior perspective. And on the other side of the ball, the Titans just continue to adapt and be who they are. They're going to be very physical. This may be the most healthiest they might have been all year as far as getting that bye. Like Derrick Henry will return in this game. I think Julio Jones finally getting a touchdown the last game of the season after a drought for 17 games. Is going to maybe a springboard for him to do something in these playoffs. And of course, you got A.J. Brown. Bengals got a little bit beat up in that last game. Larry Ojinobi, their defensive tackle, is going to be available in this game. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Tennessee to win a close game there.
Okay.
And as far as the Bills and the Chiefs, Mahomes, Allen part 2, right?
Yep. That's what we got.
Wow.
It was kind of easy for me.
It was kind of easy for you. Two teams that really kind of mirror each other.
Right, it's the same team. It's like the same team.
Does Josh Allen really ready to take that step? You know what? I'm gonna say the Bills in an upset. I think Mahomes does one of those things where he just doesn't take the check down and something happens, and that might be the difference in the game. So I'm gonna take the Bills in a wild one in Arrowhead.
Okay, so you got the Bills over the Chiefs. You got the Bills over the Chiefs. I got the Bengals over the Titans. So
I had the Bills like 34-30.
I got Bengals over Titans. I go 28-24.
21-17.
Joe Burrow. Meanwhile, I got the Chiefs winning that like 35-6. 35-6 or 7.
And before you go to the NFC, we didn't talk about Tom Brady and his continued brilliance and down to his third string running back, missing Antonio Brown, missing Godwin. We need to.
This game was over.
271 yards, 2 touchdowns. So what? It's a playoff game. I was
at Windy City. And it was 31-0 at the end of the third. When they blew the whistle, I was like, "Oh damn, they still got another quarter of this." That's how decisive that game was. The game was over before the fourth quarter started.
I mean, Tom Brady threw for 271 and had 2 touchdown passes, and they beat the Eagles 31-15.
Bye Philadelphia.
Bye Eagle bye.
Bye Eagle bye. Exactly. Bye Eagle bye.
You ever heard of the rock group Mr.?
Yeah, I heard of them.
Take these broken wings.
Oh, that's who made that? I never knew the name of who made that.
Now you know. See? You didn't know.
And learn to live so free. I never knew.
There you go, right there.
Yeah, I know that. I know that song. Yeah.
So look that up. Remember, I told you I sing too. I don't harmonize really. But, so now we can talk about the NFC round. Now you can talk about San Francisco and Green Bay on a Saturday night.
A game I really give no F words about.
I guess you're trolling your family here. Are you trolling Are you trolling everybody in the chat that wants us to hear something?
I care not about this game, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because whoever wins this game is losing in the NFC Championship, so I really don't care. So it's gonna be Rams Buccaneers is the NFC champion.
All right, well, tell us who you don't care about the most then.
Okay, I'm gonna take Green Bay to win this game over the Niners, only because they're at home, and I really want to see Brady versus Rodgers. at the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, just so Brady can go over there and make his name in that on that field too. So Green Bay is gonna win this week. But I will say this, the Niners can make it interesting with their running attack. So wouldn't be surprised if you see like a 21-17, 17-14 final.
The Niners can make it interesting with their running attack. Here's the thing. I think this is just my personal opinion. I don't know how anybody else feels about this. I think Aaron Rodgers is a little bit better than Dak Prescott. I think he's just better than
Really
Dak.
going out on a limb there, buddy.
Yeah, I'm willing to say that. So the San Francisco secondary was supposed to be a question mark going into last week, going into Dallas. If that is a question mark, and I've seen it in this past season in games in Cincinnati for halves against the Rams, and other times I've seen the secondary struggle. Just so happened Dallas didn't exploit it. I do expect that to get exploited in Green Bay with Devontae Adams and Lazard. It'd be interesting to see how long can Shanahan stay with the running attack. And Jimmy Garoppolo throws the ball to the green team one time or two times, that could be it. But this is the round when the Packers don't really struggle. They really had their problems in the championship round, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're talking about the Packers, so you're throwing stuff down. I'm gonna
Now
say the
everything fell off.
Packers win this game 35-23.
35-23. All right. Like I said, man, I'm sticking with the 21-17 or 17-14. Green Bay.
And Tampa Bay hosting the Rams. That's the early game on Sunday. It's the 2:00 game. These two teams matched up earlier this season. Rams beat the Buccaneers 34-24 earlier in SoFi. Now they're in Tampa, but it all on the line. Matthew Stafford said he wanted to play in big games. He played in a big game last night. Now he's got a bigger game. You beat Kyler
yes,
Murray. Now you get the GOAT. You get the GOAT, man. You get the GOAT down in this town trying to defend his rings, man. It's the sheep versus the GOAT, man. The Rams against the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? That's what's happening, man. The sheep versus the Pirates, man.
It's the NFC Championship right here.
Let's get it, man. All these stars on the field, that defense on the field with Von Miller and Ramsey and Donald, and they're gonna be looking across at Evans and Fournette should be back for this game. What up, Sean Jarrett and Ronald Jones second and Gronk and all these good players gonna be on the field, man. You gonna have Byron Leftwich calling stuff and Raheem Morris calling stuff, man. It's gonna be going down,
future
man.
Bears coach Byron Leftwich, possible. We don't know.
In this game, Matthew Stafford has to be great. Really, he has to be great. He has to be great in this game, man, because we know what the Bucks do. How much pressure can they get on Matthew Stafford with Vita Vea and the inside rush and Shaq Barrett and JPP on that other side? Because that's really when I see Matthew Stafford make his mistakes, when he gets the pressure. There wasn't any pressure last night. You know why? Because it's just like I said with the Rams. He only dropped back 17 times, and they ran the ball 38 times. So them 17 dropbacks is coming off a lot of bootleg action and a lot of play action that's going to make the defense pause for that minute before they try to go get them. And then, and they get these passes in. So can they do that same thing against Tampa? Everybody thought the Tampa run defense is where the Eagles was going to be able to take advantage of them. Not. They didn't allow that to happen. Really, because of their only misfortune. They had a lot of penalties themselves in that game on Sunday afternoon. So the Tampa, I think it comes down to how many points can the Tampa Bay offense put up against this Ram defense? And you know what? I think the gateway to doing this against the Ram defense is doing what they do to people. You can run on them. And that's the big thing. With Fournette coming back this week, having an extra week off, I think he was probably close to playing this week, but they give him the extra week. They're going to have to be able to run on this defense because that line, Tristan Wirfs, is going to be in a walking boot all week. He hurt his ankle against the Eagles. Ryan Jensen got banged up. So they are kind of a banged up unit on that offensive line for the Bucks. So,
I'm I'm going with Tampa Bay.
I'm going with you going with Tampa Bay?
I'm going with Tampa. I'm doing what I'm basically going David Pollock. What did I tell you week 3? The team that loses this game is winning the NFC Championship. It's a week earlier. So, I'm going with Tampa Bay.
I feel like I think I'm going with the Rams, but I feel like I'm crazy for doing that because I'm picking Matthew Stafford to beat Tom Brady.
Down Tom Brady.
I probably need a cup and to go into a bathroom after that for doing that. But I'm actually doing that because it's a team game. I'm gonna trust that Sean McVay is gonna have that same type of game plan of running the ball 2-1, 38 rushes to 17 passes. It won't probably be as much because he's gonna need some explosive plays for points, but it will be close to that. And I'm picking the Rams to win this game 28-21.
21 Rams?
28-21 Rams.
I'm going to go 34-17 Tampa Bay. I don't even think this is going to be close. I think Brady and them remember who beat them week 3. This is the NFC Championship game for all intents and purposes. This is the NFC Championship game because Green Bay always choke when they get the 1 seed. So I just want to see Tom Brady going to Lambeau.
You're saying that like you're a Bears fan.
Oh, I am.
I'm saying it like a Bears fan who's got in-laws that are
saying, whenever they get that number 1 seed, whenever they usually get that number 1 seed, they always find a way to give it back. So Tampa Bay wins this and goes on to win the NFC title game.
All right.
What's up, man? What's up? We got Rico G in the chat, man. Rico G says, "Yo,
what's happening? What's happening?
No relation to Polo, not that I know of.
What Polo G, man?
Oh, CC was spelled different. He got 2 E's after his G.
Yeah. I guess you can copyright however you want to do that. You can just have a G, and then some people have the G with a period after it, or you can just have the G-E-E. So there's really 3 ways you can do it, I guess. You can have the G without the period, you can have the G with the period, and you can like spell it out like a G-E-E. Like Angela Yee,
right?
And Rico G,
and Joe G, and Joe G. Like, yeah, I feel you.
I could be Joe G with a G, or I could be Joe G with a period, or I could be Joe G with 2 small E's after. Yes.
I thought about you yesterday because I was on a street named Gregory Street yesterday.
Oh, you out there in Blue Island?
Yeah, it's on Blue Island.
Well. Being that
he's out Blue Island.
I've got to know where it's at, right?
You got to know, dude.
All right, man. Got to turn our attention to something that we both kind of care about. The Chicago Bulls have lost 4 games in a row after John Morant had 26 points yesterday afternoon. The Grizzlies beat the really beat up Bulls right now, 119-106. Desmond Bain also had 25 in that game. Bulls led by DeMar DeRozan's 24 points. Bulls will try to get a win when they come back home. It's Cleveland on Wednesday. Bulls had a really disappointing loss in my eyes on when they came back from a 12-point deficit in Boston and let a 6-point lead slip away in the last minute. That Boston scored the last 8, lost 114-112. Bulls have lost their last 4. Those 2 losses on the road coming on the heels of those home blowouts by Warriors and the Nets. So, should we have any concern about the Bulls right now? Is it just the obvious little rough patch that you go through a typical NBA season? I mean, like I said, they're really beat up, missing Green and missing Caruso.
Right.
Of course, missing Zach LaVine right now. Missing
out.
Lonzo Ball. Didn't play yesterday. He's got a knee thing going on. We know Pat Williams won't be back this year. All intents and purposes.
Patrick Williams been at more Chicago State games lately than I've seen him on the court. So that's not even to throw a shot. He literally be at our games. So it's like he literally be at games I'm working. So it's like, So I think we just seeing the Bulls go through a rough patch. This is just a rough patch for the Chicago Bulls. Hey, it's not gonna all be sweet, man. However, I will say, man, to lose those games the way they did to the Warriors and the Nets, that's not a good look, considering that's like the championship competition down the road.
Yeah. After they play the Cavs, they got the Bucks coming up this week. Then they play the Magic on Sunday, Thunder next week. Then the Raptors in a makeup game. Then they go play the Spurs and come back in this month with the Trailblazers. So that doesn't seem too daunting. You just got to see Just got to see what kind of people we getting back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with you. I just think it's about all the injuries and all the, it hasn't been COVID so much lately, but COVID and injuries. Because, I mean, that's what hurt him in December now. Injuries hurting him in January. Zach LaVine, Caruso, Javante Green, they coming to Windy City games. Patrick Williams at Chicago State games. I'm literally seeing a lot of these guys more off the court than I'm seeing them on the court. And it's kind of because that's probably concerning me more than anything. But on the court, I think the team is solid.
Salute.
Yeah.
And speaking of injuries, the Nets suffered an injury the other day when Kevin Durant suffered a sprained MCL when his own teammate fell back into him game. I believe they were playing Cleveland on Saturday. He's gonna miss the next 4 to 6 weeks. The Nets have been playing very well, including the 138-112 blowout they had of the Bulls here last week. So you see them slipping anywhere here in the East with this injury. Will Kyrie be able to play enough games to keep them afloat? James Harden's also been playing well lately.
I think that's what it all comes down to. Kyrie. It sounds like Kyrie's stance is pretty solid. He's not getting the vaccine. It sounds like he is standing tall on that stand. So that's what it all comes down to, man. Is Kyrie even gonna play? Is he gonna get out there enough for them to even get some of these wins without Kevin Durant? But when it's all said and done, I think by the time Durant comes back, they'll be okay in the Eastern Conference. I mean, I still think you got to beat Milwaukee. At the end of the day, Milwaukee is the team everybody's chasing. So let's see if either of these teams have enough bodies down the stretch.
So yeah, man. What's in your? He's doing his top his A-list. He's doing the top 5 fan images from the Cowboys loss on Sunday. So he's looking at the 5 worst fan images. So he's having a lot of fun with this right now. It's really tough for me to look at it and showing people crying and shit.
Right. I'm like, man, dude, people just having fun with your misery. Hey, shout out to our guy Gooch, man. Happy birthday, big dog.
Happy birthday, Gooch. Happy birthday, big dog.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Gooch, I know you popping a bottle somewhere. I know you VIPing it somewhere, man. We might be having a party at Wintrust or something. I don't know what's happening. What's in your cup, man? Damn. So I don't have the Dallas Cowboys don't even need. They would need like a fucking 3-gallon punch bowl.
Damn, bro. They got you out here like that? He said they need a 3-gallon punch bowl, bro.
They need a 3-gallon punch bowl. They don't even need a cup.
Would that even be enough for all the people?
I got so much blame to go around with them. 14 penalties.
That's bad, to say the least.
Quarterback that don't know to get a ball to the referee. The only person I would put down there, the whole team in the punch bowl, except for the punter and the kicker. Greg Zuerlein made his field goal and his extra points.
He wasn't goofy ass Greg.
The punter threw a great pass on a fake punt, which led to a penalty afterwards because they tried to be tricky and slick afterwards and had a penalty after that. My God. Damn.
Hey, Joe.
I just want to tell them to aim the gun that way at the red team, not the white team.
Shoot yourself in the foot. Cheddar Bob, man, like you said, Cheddar Bob with the NFL. That's on you though.
Yeah, man. Just the whole 14 penalties. I got to worry about this last play. We got to be talking about this last play in this 1 second for the next 8 months. Sickening. Flat out sickening. Everybody sitting up here calling me. People don't even up here calling me, texting me. They texting me all kind of stuff. Who's texting me all kind of stuff, Chris?
I believe it, man.
Look at this shit, Chris. Texting me all this shit. Texting me all this shit.
Texting me. What is that?
Texting me all this shit. Texting me all this shit. Texting me all this shit.
You get eliminated, bro.
Texting me all this shit. People be texting me all this shit. You know that? People be texting me all this shit. This shit terrible, Chris. Shit really real, Chris.
What's in my cup? It goes to those officials because I thought they mishandled that as well. I thought it was supposed to go back to the play where the whistle was blown dead. So now that officiating crew has officially been taken off of all games for the remainder of the NFL playoffs. So what's in your cup, man?
I told you what was in my cup.
Yeah, I know. You told me that Cowboy Punch Bowl.
What's so funny?
Hey, man, you told me. I'm just saying, yeah, it's tough, bro.
You just saying what, Chris?
I'm just saying it's tough that your team is out the playoffs and on the couch with the rest of us. Hey, at least the rest of the division is out too. You didn't lose like Philly did.
Would have rather. Would have rather. You know how I feel about that shit. You know how I feel about that shit. Take me to the last play. You don't even get a last play. Our last play was a spike.
That's true.
Our last play was a spike.
Get to the last play and didn't even get a last play.
And you know what that spike was? You know what that spike was?
The death spike to y'all season.
Just the death spike to the coffin. Just closed it up right there. That's what he did with our season. That's what our season was right there. See? A hard spike. That's how season ended. A hard spike right into the ground at the feet of our quarterback, who had 20 incompletions in the playoff game.
Bulls, man. Io been hooping. I love the way Io's been hooping. I know everybody think the Bulls are just gonna be. Look, you can't just drop teams into the NBA and expect them to win championships, and that's what a lot of people expected with the Bulls. Hey, it's okay. It's okay to not win the title the first year, dude. If anything, I learned from the Warriors winning all them years. You're not gonna win it the first year, man. So give it some time with the Bulls. That's not a what's in your cup. That's just me saying.
Y'all understand? It didn't sound like a what's in your cup. Oh,
yeah. Yeah, man. I know, man. I know, bro. I know, man. So who you got? So are you cheering for Green Bay next week?
I have never gotten any type of solace or satisfaction from whoever beating. I don't care if Green Bay beat them. That's their business. That's for Jay and them to be happy about. I don't say, hey, yay, and glad Green Bay beat. No. Too caught up in my own damn misery. To get caught up to be worried about what a damn cheesehead is. To worry about what a cheesehead doing.
You'll feel better.
Look, every team in this playoff gonna have misery except for the one that win. If you lose a Super Bowl game, that's misery. That's the worst misery because you was that close.
I feel like be that
everybody, they got to showing my players on the bench after the game. Trayvon Diggs looked like he was praying. He was sitting there like this. Trayvon Diggs was sitting there like this, and 11 picks, and he was over. He was just sitting there like.
He's the defensive player of the year still, though. He should win it. I know you don't care about that, but I think he should win it.
I'm already figuring about what we need to do to improve this team. It's a lot of stuff going on. Dan Quinn got all these damn interviews. I don't know, man. Mike Tannenbaum might have sounded the best to me, man. So you got to talk to Mike McCarthy and ask him, you keeping your job, but what you going to do about all these damn penalties? What you doing about penalties in training camp? He was the most penalized offense this year. He had 69 penalties on offense.
Damn.
Cheddar Bobs.
69 penalties, bro. That's tough. That's tough, dude.
And you know what half of them be?
Ball start offside.
That's what half of them be.
Neutral zone.
Pre-snap. Pre-snap. They ain't got nothing to do with the play.
It's tough, man. Hey, man.
You know what? I'm going to say this before the show wrap up. Let me just say this. I just had a belief. They've been doing this shit all year. I just had a belief. I had a belief that they had learned from it and it would go away. And it didn't go away. It did what they had been doing all year. So
they suckered you
what
in,
happened?
man.
What happened is what happened. And that's what shouldn't be super surprised. It's all of me and my rest of my Cowboy Nation, me and LeBron James and Omar Epps and Jamie Foxx and all the rest of us. I got my good guy Marquand Brown and all the rest of us Cowboy fans. We shouldn't be
Seem like a lot of
particularly
Instagram
upset.
models.
My good
Seem
guy
like a lot of Instagram
Montoya.
models are Cowboy fans.
Huh?
Seem like a lot of
What?
Instagram models are Cowboy fans too. You heard me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, it just seemed like that. A lot of Instagram models are Cowboy fans too. So y'all got that going for y'all.
And
Y'all
you
got a
did that
big.
to
Y'all got a
and you
big
did
nation.
that to interrupt my train of thought to do what?
I'm just saying, man. You was naming Cowboy Nation. I was saying, it seemed like you got a lot of Instagram models too. So it's like a big fan base. I'm
You
just
want some
going trying to help
trolling
you
or
out,
something?
brother. Trying to
I'm finna
help you
laugh.
out.
Go on and laugh. First of all, laugh before I finish. Go on and laugh. Get it out the way. What you do? Mute it. Go and get the laugh.
Wasn't even meant to be a troll. I was just saying. But yeah, you got a lot of Instagram models.
Like I say, they showed us who they were all year. They had a chance to give me confidence against Arizona 2 weeks ago, and they blew it. You know what they did after that? They went and put 50 on the Eagles. You know what people was talking about? You know what I heard analysts saying this week?
They might win the Super
Dak
Bowl.
Prescott is hot. Dak Prescott is hot. Yeah, he hot against the NFC East. He on their ass. You riding in the NFC East. But other than that, against the Raiders, against the Cardinals, want to try to go win it, go play good at Kansas City. And then what happened in the first half here? Can't have 20 incompletions. Can't throw the ball to the other team and set up Debo Samuel for this stuff when they're already up 16-7. And got to get the ball to the referee in that situation. We got on Chase Claypool about it, and then look what happened. Look how the world turns. 5 weeks later, in a tough situation, tougher than a $2 steak. I ain't talking about Chase Claypool on a Thursday night. I'm talking about ending your season on a Sunday night. On two damn channels. On 4 damn channels. On Paramount, CBS, and Nickelodeon. I'm upset.
You are, man.
I'm upset.
Hey, man. Welcome to the couch, man. Hey, Rod the Reflex, I ain't hear from you today. What's up, Rod? What's up with the Raiders?
Shout out to everybody who joined us in the chat this morning. You know what I'm saying? Y'all the ones that make it happen, man. Y'all the reasons that we do this, man. Thanks for taking away from your bagel or your breakfast or whatever you've been doing this morning and to chop it up with us, man, and everything, man. And you know what I'm saying? It's tough, man. We're not doing no students of the game this week. I know I got to work Thursday, damn it.
I do. I'm with you. I'm right there with you.
So I guess you're gonna have to deal with another. I guess Joe next Monday morning or Tuesday morning or something.
We're not getting another SOTG in until like February 17th because I got games on Thursdays like the rest of the week, the rest of like the month. So Michael Jordan's birthday. So we want to get an SOTG. It's Michael Jordan's birthday.
Happy birthday to Michael Jordan. I have a good friend of mine calling me while I'm on my show. What are you saying about my team?
I said I was just making sure you ain't hang yourself.
Why everybody keep thinking I'm gonna hang myself? I'm just gonna say this about my team. Everybody keep thinking I'm gonna hurt myself. In the words of American author and Long Beach poet Calvin Broadus, aka Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
I can't die now. My boo boo's about to have my baby.
I can't die. My boo boo's about to have my baby. We wrapping up, man.
All right. Shout out to my good guy Twin right there. That was him calling me, trying to give me some grief about the Cowboys. Everybody kept thinking I did something to myself. All my friends thought I did something to myself yesterday, like I was somewhere with a knife, like I was somewhere with a bottle and some prescription pills that wasn't mine or something. You know what I'm saying? Like I was somewhere with some vodka and a whole bottle of pills or something. Listen here. I didn't do that, and I never considered that. Okay? I'm in a dark place. I am in a dark place, but it's not that dark. But it's pretty dark. It's a dimly lit place. The candle is burning down. The candle is past halfway, but I'm in a dark place.
Do you feel spiked? Do you feel like somebody just spiked you straight into the ground and ended your season?
I don't feel like it's a subject I'll probably discuss with you much over the next 8 months. I do feel like that because that's the only thing that you're going to do about it is laugh. That's what you want to do.
I mean, the
So,
Bears been eliminated, dude. Come on. We still don't even know who the GM or coach is gonna be yet. So
shout out to everybody who joined us in the chat, man.
shout them out.
Huh?
Shout out.
That's, salute them, man.
Yeah,
Yep, man. I guess we'll see y'all next week after we watch what is known as the best football weekend, the divisional playoffs, and it's gonna be going down next weekend. So we'll join y'all and let y'all know what's going on after that, man. And and Chris Rouse, Joseph Gregory, man. That's how we do it on Joe and Joe, man. We out of here, man. We out of here, man.